Hey guys, welcome to the Helix Experience, our brand new or rebranded podcast. I guess this is season 4 of our podcast, and I welcome my fiance slash co-host for this episode, but not permanently, maybe, Steph Gorton. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me as your uncertain, not sure if it's ever going to continue co-host.
Yeah, that's cool. This has been thrown together last minute in terms of the guests. Not really, actually. We discussed this in Bali.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been on the cards for a little while.
So yeah, super excited to be back podcasting and I guess educating, talking shit with you guys, the audience. So thanks for jumping on this first episode. And Steph, what has been going on for you?
I guess like what I'd love to know, I'm sure what your listeners would love to know is like why season 4? And also tell us a little bit about the evolution of this podcast because every single season's had a rebrand.
Well, I think I remember back to season 1 and someone was like, you should do a podcast. I was like, I should do a podcast. Next day, I just released a podcast and
Such a Tim thing to do.
gave it zero thought. I think I released about 10 episodes, which you can go back and listen to. Horrendous. I think I was interviewing people in the gym. There was dumbbells and barbells banging on the floor. There was people screaming in the background. It was wild.
But you had a really big first guest, didn't
Yeah. Oh, I think
Or was that your season 2?
No, that was season 3, actually. So yeah, I had knees over toes guy who has since gone viral and gone absolutely massive, and then had a few other huge people on the podcast, which was incredible. And now we're back for season 4 with a little bit of a different spin on the podcast. So the podcast is going to feature 3 types of episodes. We're going to have guests, but the guest is going to be less about the guest. Tell me your story. Where'd you come from? How'd you get started in fitness? And more diving into a topic. Then we're going to have protein shakes with Tim, which is a bite-sized episode where I'll riff on a topic in the time it's going to take you to scull a protein shake. Not really. They're going to be a little bit longer than that. And then we're going to have mostly uneducated opinions, which is a podcast about opinions and what we think of the fitness industry. How's that sound?
It sounds so good. And I love the fact that you're doing it because like the podcasting landscape has changed so much. And I think that what worked before is no longer of interest to people. And so I love the fact that you have 3 types of episodes to keep your audience, hashtag you guys listening, super interested and excited. It's epic.
And yeah, what has happened? I think I checked the last episode was released in August 2021. So what's that like for? Like
It's been
9
almost
months.
a year, babe.
Yeah, almost a year since I've donned the microphone for an episode of podcasting. What has happened in that time? Many evolutions in business, many evolutions in body, mind, and spirit. And we just got back from Bali, but all things are on the up, and we're excited for our next chapter of the gym, podcasting, and a lot of other things.
Oh God. Yeah. We did some big stuff in Bali and come up with some really big, broad, dreamy kind of concepts that are so exciting, equally as terrifying, and are going to require a lot of hard work from us and quite a bit of risk, which
A lot
we're
of risk, a lot of money.
finally in the position to be able to take. So feeling very grateful at the moment.
Yeah, we just got off the phone, or we just got off a call with someone that was advising us for dollars for a new project that we're going to have to spend. And the figure shocked me / astounded me a little bit, which was great.
Multi 6-figure investment.
Yeah, which I was like, oh my God, I'm going to put that much money into this thing.
It's exciting, but more to come on that. Yeah, really exciting.
More to come. Anyway, we're going to get into this episode. We've got a couple of topics we want to cover today. The first one is we get asked this all the time, especially as entrepreneurs. I'm a gym owner, Steph's a business coach. And we always get asked, what are your daily habits to build success? So I will start with the first one here. It's training to a schedule. I think a lot of people just fit in their physical practice whenever it suits them best, but I like to schedule it ahead of the week. So generally I'll train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I tell myself I'm going to train at 5:30 a.m., usually at 6:30 a.m., just to get that extra hour of sleep. And then the next one would be a wake up time. I'll let Steph riff on this.
Yeah, look, I think that that just going off what you said before, like the daily habits for success, like, training to a schedule. I think if you, like, we all know that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And like, as somebody who's not as much of a gym buff, and, I still love going to the gym. I still enjoy moving my body, but definitely not as passionate about it as Tim, and some of the gym goers. Like, if I don't make an effort to get up at 5:30 a.m. to get to the gym for 6:30 a.m., like, I'm going to be honest, like, it won't happen. And I know you guys are in the same boat as well. You'll be in the exact same position where like like anything in life, if you want to have discipline, it comes from creating really good habits. And those habits for us is like every single day, every single weekday, especially Monday to Friday, our alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. We get up, we start moving. Our little routine is Tim gets up, goes and has a shower. I lays around in bed for 10 more minutes. And then we get up and get going to the gym so that we're there in time for our 6:30 class, or 15 minutes before, so we can stretch and warm up.
Yeah. And our next hilarious point, which Steph's going to have a giggle at, I've got writing lists and putting the most important stuff at the top. So Steph and I have been together for a little bit over 5 years now, going on 6 years. And every single day I'll write down a list of things I need to accomplish for that day to have a successful day. It'll probably get to 11 a.m. And sometimes Steph's like, I'm really frustrated with X. And I'll be like, all right, cool. Have you written a list for the day? And she'll be like,
no. Every damn time. Yeah. I don't know why. I just like tell myself that I'm in my feminine flow and like I'll do things when I feel like it. But guys, it's the fastest way to fail. I can tell you right now, as someone who fails on a freaking repeated daily basis.
Imagine you have a computer open, you have a million tabs open. Likelihood of you getting shit done is slim to none. And all those ideas and to-do lists are just like tabs on the computer in your head, and they will never get done. So recently we bought a product called the Productivity Planner, which helps you categorize and prioritize. This is not a paid advertisement for the Productivity Planner. That's a mouthful, actually. The
Productivity Planner, yeah.
Triple P or double P. I used to use the Panda Planner as well, but it is by intelligentchange.com.
You're making that sound intelligent.
I'm dyslexic. I am not.
We got it from Amazon. So just type in Productivity Planner into Amazon. Oh, you're right. It is hard to say.
Yeah, I can't get that out. But anyway, great product. We're 2 days in. So it's a strong recommendation from us from 2 days in, just because we fully know the product inside and out.
And Steph actually used it.
Steph used it. I've got 4 words on here. It says sell tickets to in-person event.
Guys, if you want to come to my in-person event, you feel free. No plug here, but tickets are online in my account.
It's coming up. And then outsourcing.
Oh, I'm the queen of outsource. Can I talk about this? Yeah. So I personally think that everyone needs to stay
self-proclaimed queen of outsourcing.
Everyone needs to stay in the area of genius. And I think that things that don't bring you joy, you shouldn't be doing. If you can afford to, and I think where it's really important to outsource. I mean, we outsource a lot of stuff in our life. And it's been things we've added over time, but we've realized that time is the only currency that no one can get more of. And we don't want to spend our time, always cleaning our house or doing all of our meal prep, or, for me personally, like in a business, like I don't want to do all the bloody yucky admin. I don't want to go through my payments and reconcile them all in my accounting software. Like I don't want to do that stuff. First of all, it doesn't add joy to my life, and life is so short. And secondly, that's someone else's area of genius. Like they want to do that. They're excited to do that. Like the cleaners that come to our house every week, they love it. Like they love being here. They're always happy. They're always pumped. Like it's just, they love doing it, and we're grateful to have them do it. And it's one of those things that gives us that time back. And for us, time is the only currency that matters, because with that time, we can invest it back into our business, invest it back into our growth, invest it back into ourselves, invest it into each other and into our family. And that reminder again, that life is so short. So where you can afford to outsource, we highly recommend getting some support.
Yeah. We were just in Bali, and Steph probably hasn't seen me work like on my computer in a while. And I remember first couple of days I was just like super busy, like doing stuff. And Steph's like, are you literally building landing pages, doing the ads, writing the copy, building the creative, and doing all the stuff?
Doing all the graphic design, like
literally doing everything because I can, but doesn't mean I should. It shouldn't be. Yeah. It's not something I should have been doing. So I was like, had a hard look at myself, and I thought I should be outsourcing these things. So I hired a couple of copywriters, and got some team together to fulfill these tasks for me. So I could be doing the stuff I'm good at, because I'm not. Well, I'm okay. Well, I think I'm great at everything, but
Tim does think he's good at everything. Yeah.
But I think it should be a better use of time. Yeah.
As well. There are people out there who are better.
Some are better at some things. So our next point from Daily Habits. Yeah, humble brag there. Stop caring what other people think. I think Steph is going to summarize this one better.
Oh, as the chronic people pleaser in this household, 100%. That is me.
I don't give a fuck.
Tim doesn't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
Like I just think that in terms of daily habits, it really has to come down to like what is going to bring you joy and what is going to light you up in your day and what is actually going to move the needle forward for you. But so often we end up planning our days around everybody else. Now, I know you probably have it, like if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have a job you have to go to. That's cool. That person pays you to be there. So that's a good use of your time, right? But outside of that, like where else are you giving away your joy or your happiness or your freedom to other people because of what you think you should be doing? So it could be, I have to see my friend tonight because they're going through a hard time, or, I have to go and see my parents, or, I better get online on social media and post about this dinner that I'm having so that you can be validated by the masses online. It's just so important to realize what actually brings you joy and what doesn't, and to prioritize more of that. And we see people fall into, the scroll hole all the time, just social media scrolling.
Scroll hole.
That
sounds so naughty.
It sounds yummy, actually.
Yeah.
But we see, and like we've been out for breakfast with friends, dinner with friends, lunches with friends, and they've inadvertently finding a reason to pull out their phone, and then they're getting stuck on it in a scroll hole, and they're, spending their time that they should be spending connecting and prioritizing connection and prioritizing joy, getting sucked into what other people are doing, what other people will think about them, how they should act, how they should position themselves in this day and in this moment to be able to get the most out of their life. And ultimately it's all taking away from your happiness and your joy in that present moment. And so what we really encourage is just stop giving a fuck about what people think, because the sooner that you stop positioning for approval and constantly needing to be validated by everybody, the easier your life gets, because you start making decisions that are actually truly aligned with what you want.
And I'm about to drop a mic drop moment. And if I can get this quote right, it is going to go well. But those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter.
Oh, he nailed it.
Dr. Zeus. Boom. And I even got the author on that one. So this, Steph was talking about social media there, and this segues into our next point for daily habits to build success is mute people on social media who don't add value to your life. So there was a point where my gym account, we were following thousands of people. My personal account, I was following thousands of people. And my social media account was just filled with absolute nonsense. And I would just get sucked into the life and the drama and what everyone else was doing. And it was taking away from my own life. And
like, can we give you an example, guys? The Johnny Depp Amber Heard case.
Yeah.
If you have been watching it, if you have been watching it, if you have been sucked into it, if you've been living vicariously through it, you really need to check in with yourself and ask yourself, is that the best use of your time, energy, and effort? Is that is the highest version of you actually fucking care?
Yeah. Yeah, no one gives a fuck. I asked my admin to go and mute every single person on both of my accounts, which probably took her fucking ages. And she did. And then I had to go and unmute people that I actually wanted to follow, which was fantastic. So consciously, I had to go and, see who I wanted to follow to actually follow their journey rather than just following everyone for the sake of it and just getting so sucked into everyone else. I think a really good strategy with this is do a social media detox on weekends. So weekends is technology free. Friday, uninstall all the apps, Insta, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, all the other shit. And then on Monday, reinstall it and see how you feel. I'd say your anxiety levels and self-love would increase big time.
Yeah, you can't help it on social media. You just get sucked into comparison, and you just can't help it. And not only comparison, but desire. And whoever told us that desire is a good thing, like to desire things is lying, because desire is such a low energy form. It's like kind of like always being on a diet. Like you want to eat the donut, but you can never have the donut, and you desire the donut and you're forever fucking hungry because you can't eat the donut. And so, that's what desire feels like. It feels like always wanting, never satiated. And so, when you're sitting on social media and you're scrolling someone's feed and you're like, I want to look like that, I want to dress like that, I want to have that bag, I want to have that car, you're just sitting in desire, which is such a low level energy frequency that is just ultimately holding you back. When actually right now, if you look at your life, you live in one of the most privileged places in the world. You have a roof over your head. The sun is beating down on you. You're listening to this through your AirPods on your fancy iPhone, on your way to a job that pays you money, and you're freaking privileged. Like, how abundant are you in this moment? But that gets stripped away when we get sucked into people's social media.
Yeah. Yeah. In summary, don't follow people that don't take you forward in life.
Oof.
Boom. And lastly, we can probably speak to this on two different levels. The last point I've got is keep reinvesting. So for me, reinvesting, probably I will talk about the financial aspect, and Steph will probably talk about the mentors here. But in terms of the financial aspect, investments are something I think about is I like to invest in things that are going to return a compounding interest in the future. So some things that I love investing in are things like index funds. And I used to love crypto before the crash. But
I think everyone loves crypto.
I think, yeah, my portfolio dropped 90%, which didn't really hurt because I didn't really invest anything that I couldn't afford to lose, which is a golden rule in reinvesting. But things like index funds, which grow every year. So if your index fund, you have 10K at the start of the year, the end of the year it grows 10%. So you've got 11K. Then that 11K will grow compoundingly over time if you keep adding to it as well, which is a really good investment. And Steph's going to chat about the other investing here.
Yeah. I think, reinvesting from a mentorship perspective is, people who join Helix as an example, like they're joining a gym. Yeah. They're going to get a fitness outcome 100%, like guaranteed every single time. But what they're getting, and they don't realize that what they're getting more is an investment into, their own upskilling, their own up leveling and their own growth, because Tim is just the kind of person who is a natural mentor, a natural leader, a natural coach. And he really does see the best in every single person. He really does see the human potential in every single person, and he will help you to see that too. And so that's just one example of even if you don't want to see it, he will help you to see just how powerful you actually are and just how much you can do. But from a mentorship perspective, like, God, I think I have 3 mentors at the moment, and always like 24/7. I think you have a couple as well. And there's no way that either of us would be in this financial position, in this mental clarity position, in this state of abundance, both in happiness, joy, and finances, if we hadn't invested in coaches. And I think between us, babe, it's probably like 250K in coaching that we've dropped in the last 5 to 6 years. Yeah. It has been huge amounts of money. But then when you look at the income that we're bringing in, I mean, it's, 5 to 6 times the investment. So it kind of comes down to like, if you know that you're the kind of person who's going to do the work and you really are truly committed to up leveling your life, you can't lose if you hire a coach.
Yeah. Or investments, good investments.
Or money.
Not crypto. Yeah. So it's been a pretty huge couple of years for everyone. I think this, the deadly C-19 pandemic that swept the world had a big effect. Steph and I just wanted to run through 3 kind of lessons that we really gathered from it from a personal point of view, not so much specifically business or life or anything like that, just 3 overall lessons that became really apparent over the last couple of years. And I'll start off with, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Funny story on this. I did post something similar on Instagram, got absolutely trolled for it. The biggest trolling I ever had on social media, and I won't go into specifics of it, but if you hang around junkies, odds are you become a junkie. If you hang around successful people, odds are you'll become successful. If you hang around people that are good at snatching, odds are you'll become good at snatching. And
it's not even odds. Like, honestly, if you look it up, there's statistics. We don't have them in front of us, but I can guarantee you there are statistics on this. Yeah.
Mostly uneducated opinions here, but opinions that are solid.
Valid. Yeah. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And you just got to constantly be checking your circle. Is this circle moving me forward? Is it actually bringing me joy? Do I feel like, check in with yourself after each catch up with somebody and check in and be like, did that make me happy? How do I feel now? And if it's not making you happy or inspired or joyful, then it's probably not the right people to be around. I'm going to hit the next topic of 2 solid years of graft can change your life, because I think that this one for me really hit home. When COVID hit, I had another business, and it was an events-based business, so it completely shut down. And so, lost all of our income from that business for that period of time. And I stepped into coaching full time, which I'd kind of been doing as a bit of a side hustle at that point. And that was in April or May of 2020 when I stepped into that. And we're now obviously in about just over 2 years later. And from literally $0 to $1 million business in 2 years. And the reason for that, I really truly believe, a lot of reasons, but one of the major reasons is because we didn't have distraction for 2 years, for 2 whole years. Yes, we were locked in our state. We were locked in our houses at some point, but it really helped me, instead of spending that money on holidays or, short-term kind of pleasures, I was really reinvesting in the long-term game. I signed up for the most expensive coach I'd ever hired, which was, I think about 40 grand for the year.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't Tim.
Wasn't Helix.
But yeah, I signed up for a business coach that really took my business to the next level. And it was around, $40,000 investment when I really didn't have the money to invest. And it really proved to me that, like, honestly, if I can do it in 2 years, I think with the right leadership and the right mentorship, if you really want it, like, you can really seriously change your life in 2 years. So that now that we can go on holidays whenever the heck we want, we can do whatever the heck we want. And I feel very grateful to be in that position, but it's been 2 solid years of hard graft, super laser focused, huge amounts of looking in the mirror and finding all the flaws as well, so that I could fix those, or not fix them, but shed them and reevaluate them to move into the next phase.
And our final point with lessons from COVID is don't follow the crowd. I'm going to approach this from a health and fitness point of view for this one. Steph may have a different take on it, but I feel like the popular thing to do during the pandemic was sit at home, get super drunk, jump on the internet, complain about what was going on. And the unpopular thing, or the thing that the crowd weren't doing, were thinking about how they can change their life, thinking about how they can use the time that they had to improve their fitness, thinking about how they can improve their nutrition. So doing the things that everyone else wasn't doing was the right thing to do, which goes into Steph's last point of like 2 years of solid graft. If you use this time to proactively improve your life, I think things would have got a lot better for you.
How much muscle gain did you gain over the last 2 years?
Well, I like to think I got up to 96 kilos, about 14% at the moment. I think at that time I was about 86. So about 2 kilos. Oh, sorry, 10 kilos.
Yeah, 10 kilos. And that's because Tim trained not every day, because we don't recommend that, but really consistently the whole time. And you ate like a mofo as well. You eat like you go 100, So I just think, 2 years can really put you ahead.
So we just wanted to rehash on where this show is going. So we're going to have interviews with guests like Steph, amazing world-class business coaches. We're going to have our protein with Tim chats, bite-sized. Then we've got mostly uneducated opinions. My co-host for this is actually Clinton Adamson. So we're going to do a 3-month stint on mostly uneducated opinions. We have our show notes for our recording this Saturday. I'm slightly scared and nervous for this one. So we're going to see where this goes. So the whole premise behind is easily digestible for you, the listener. I hope to give you some cool information about health and fitness. I hope to give you some unwarranted and uneducated opinions just for a laugh. And I want to give you some topics, especially in the protein shakes with Tim, that are thought-provoking and will change your life.
And I think that the whole intent behind this podcast is just to have a good time. Like, we're not here trying to be taken super seriously. Tim's not here trying to, change the entire world with this podcast. It's just a way of connecting with our audience and our members, especially. Hey, memberinos, if you're here from Helix. Tim's like, please never say that like that ever again.
Memberinos. I want to vomit.
And I think it's just really nice, a really nice way to connect with people on topics that, we're talking about all the time at home, stuff that we're discussing all the time, that I think people kind of want to see behind the curtain. They want to see and hear what is really going on in our heads and in our minds. And with all this, $250,000 worth of upskilling, like, we have some shit we can teach.
100%. And we're super excited to teach that. So if you're a returning listener and you're already subscribed to the podcast, thank you so much. We're here. It's the Helix Experience. It's Tim Frey's podcast 4.0. But if you're a new listener and it's the first time you're listening, please hit that subscribe button. Leave me a 5-star review. 4.5 won't do. It has to be 5-star. I do appreciate it. Make sure you share it on social media and get around it. I'm super excited for the next few months of season 4 of the podcast. Any final words from you, Steph?
Keep crushing it, guys. Just keep moving the needle forward and listening to podcasts like this and opening your mind up a little bit, whether you agree or not to everything that is discussed. It helps you to see a different perspective. And that really is all it takes to be able to create a new neural pathway and really put you in the line of success in the future.
Thanks for listening.